Hey guys, welcome to the Color Me Mike podcast. So just a quick disclaimer up here at the top. Anything said during this podcast only reflects on me and or the guest. Sonity has nothing to do at all with anything that's being said here. Sonity is just a cool boba milk tea shop in Fremont, California that is kind enough to let us record the podcast here at their shop and kind enough to hook us up with some boba milk tea drinks. So everybody just chill and enjoy the episode. Yeah, you want to have a six-pack?
Yeah, it's tough.
You know what? Let's adjust your mic real quick. So you see how this is like right in your face?
Uh-huh.
So what we can do is do one of these jams right there. So
Like this?
It doesn't have to be like directly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so see how I got it going on here? Yeah, so isn't that nice? You can see my face when we're talking, dude.
Yeah,
Don't you want to
yeah.
see this face?
Yeah, for those who I don't know how
Yeah.
these mics work.
Yeah, Dorian just did a big shrug. You're like that Asian emoji. It's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know how these mics work? You do a podcast.
Yeah, but they're like this. Like I only could speak through one side.
Oh, which one did you get?
I don't know. I've had it for years.
Oh, really? Have you been doing podcasts then?
No, I did it for a while and then I didn't, and I packed it away and then I bust back out. And
So what was that first podcast like?
just with my friends bullshitting.
What did you call it?
I don't even remember.
How long ago was that?
A long time ago, probably like 5 years ago, maybe, or even more.
Yeah, I mean, podcasts were already like at full force, 5 years ago. The podcast thing really only started like around 2010, 11, around there, right? Well, probably 2009 if you're talking about where it really
Are we starting
started.
now?
Oh, yeah. I just believe in going right into it. Dude.
Okay.
No format, nothing. It's a little different for you because for those who don't know, Dorian has his own podcast. He called The Dorian Show, right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's rough shooting it by myself.
It is, man. That's why it's so much easier having a guest. You have someone to bounce off of. You have things to talk about.
I think I have stuff to talk about, but it lasts for like 20 seconds. You know what I mean?
So how do you approach it? Do you have notes that you go into the show with?
I think I don't even have enough topics for me to want to talk about. So I would have like 5 things I want to talk about.
Uh-huh.
But really, I should do like 10 if I really think I could get maybe like 30 minutes. But
You ever get any stand-up bits out of it?
I might have one, but I haven't done it
Because
yet.
I remember I listened to the first episode, and you had some good premises there just when you were ranting, like some good stuff. You don't go back and listen to it, huh?
No, I don't.
It's pure
hard.
torture.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think I have some when I'm like, as I'm ranting about it, I'm like, oh, could be it. But I have a joke, but I haven't said it yet just because I don't want to get I don't think people are ready for it.
Ready? Oh, look, Mr. Hardcore edgy over here.
Yeah, it might be a little bit. I don't think I'm edgy
What's
at all.
the
number
premise?
One. May or may not be with guns.
Okay. But you know what? I mean, I've heard people already talk about that. Yeah, I don't know. I was watching something yesterday, like a somewhat well-known comedian already went into
Yeah, that's
it.
different, dude. Well-known comedians and open mics, what we do is it's a little different.
Yeah, but you know what? Most of these open mics are just all us anyway, right? Who's gonna be offended? And if you're a comic and you get offended, well, fuck you. What the hell are you doing in comedy? It's like,
I mean, that's why I think, but I feel like people have gotten offended by some of this. I think they just don't like certain topics. They don't even really, they can't even hear the joke. I think I talked about this on my podcast too before. It's just like you'll say keywords and they automatically like shut off.
even comics.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's all I perform to.
For those who don't know, you have a weekly show now, right?
It's down.
You'll rotate a little bit more.
It's down to
there you go.
like a dental exam, like getting X-rays.
No, but you have the at Emperor's
Emperor
Norton's Boozeland, right?
It's now once a month now. It's a little bit. It's hard doing weekly shows.
It is, dude. Getting people in every week.
Yeah, getting a crowd is rough. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, you haven't been here for a while. I haven't seen you in a long time because you're in
I've been
the
gone for
Philippines
3 months, man. Yeah.
Trying to make some money over there, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's why I've been back for 3 weeks. Obviously, the first week is a wash.
Yeah,
I'm still like sleeping at noon, waking up,
Yeah.
in the middle of the night. So I really couldn't get anything done. I mean, that's why, I don't have my tripod with me. I didn't realize I left it in the Philippines. Because, like for me, when I pack, I kind of start getting like tunnel visions. Like, ah, man, I don't want to pack too much. I
Yeah.
just want to like bring back as little as possible. So I left a tripod because at least I'll have something to use over there when I'm over there.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting. Oh yeah, I need that over here too. It's like,
How
oh,
often do you go to the Philippines?
I'm gonna go back in September already, and I'm gonna
Okay.
be gone for another 4 months.
Wait, were you gone for 4 months this past time?
I was gone for 3 months
Okay,
this
yeah.
time. Well, it's really 2.5. It's exhausting saying 2.5 every time.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
just say
yeah.
3 months,
Okay.
right? No, because for those who don't know, my wife and I are building an Airbnb property over there, and in the Philippines, staycation seasons really peaks from September to December. So I really got to be over there and really, help manage the property and get things going
Okay.
on, because it's the whole point why we're making money.
Who's gonna run it? Like a relative, or are you guys gonna run it yourself?
I am. Me and my
You're gonna
wife.
run it from out.
No. So that's why I got to stay there 4 months, create a system, really make that money, and then at that point, I can hire someone and train them to take it over. So I'm not. I can't be. Obviously, you know how it is, man. I can't be gone that long
Right.
from this and not doing stand up, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no, right? Because if you think about it, one, it's not as if my career is super fucking hot right now. I'm
Mhm.
like missing out on a bunch of shows. That's
Yeah.
not happening. And two, it's it's a marathon. It's a long game. In the big picture, we're going to be doing this 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
how long you're gonna do?
Yeah. Well, how long are you planning on doing it?
Dude, I don't know. I'm if I had property in like Philippines, I'd drop it right now.
I don't know. I mean, don't you?
But maybe I don't know. I don't
mean,
know how long I'm gonna do it for.
Obviously, like right now for us, it's not doing stand up is not a money thing.
Right.
We're losing money every time we go out to a mic.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. So then what is it for? What are you doing it for?
I mean, for me, I don't know. I'm doing it just to do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like wasting my time, especially the last couple of years. I don't know if it has to do with getting older.
Oh, it definitely has to do with getting older.
So
Man.
it's something. It's just like I need to go out there and do something with this block of time, especially because work from home. I don't want to just waste my time sitting at home and jerking off or watching TV. I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, so it's just.
But come on, let's be real. You're not going to spend that much time jerking off. I mean, how long can it take? We're talking like 1 minute max, right?
I mean,
You don't have to
a
last
set
any-
is only like 5 minutes.
I know. Come
But
on,
yeah.
you're not wasting that much time jerking off.
Yeah,
dude.
but I just don't want to be inside too long.
Then why stand up comedy? Because I feel like, because you know how the grind is, man. It can be
Yeah, it's
torture for the soul. So why put yourself through it unless there's something in you that really compels you? Like, hey, this is kind of like a part of
Yeah,
who I am, and this is the way I need to express myself. I need to.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
do
it's
this.
probably because I consume so much of it. Not really, maybe even stand-up comedy. I see it a lot. I listen to like all the podcasts, and I'm like, I think I could do it. I think I'm a funny dude. Like my friends
Hey,
all
you
think.
crack me up, dude. You know me. I like your material.
I mean, my friends think I'm
Like,
funny, so I'm
one of
just,
a handful of people that crack up when you're up there.
Yeah, it doesn't translate onto stage, but I
Not yet. You just got to figure out how to, maneuver those bits so that your
Yeah, yeah.
personality really, comes through. That's the tough part, right?
yeah. So I mean, I think I'm pretty good at it, even though I don't think what the results really show it, but I think I'm pretty good at it. And I do it enough. I'm not sick of it yet. I think it's hard for me to see myself. You know how some of those comedians out there that have been doing it for like 10 years. I'm like, dude, really? Like, I don't see myself doing that.
You'd be surprised, man, because I've been doing videography for 9 years now, right? And when you're starting out, because they tell you when you start filmmaking, you start videography, they tell you it's gonna take 10 years for you to get anywhere with this. And when you're starting out, like 10 fucking years, oh my god, I can't imagine
Mhm.
doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Next thing you know, 10 years or 9 years went by, and there you go, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things where just focus on trying to get better at it, and
Mhm.
time will take care of itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really, and if it's kind of one of those things, if it's really for you, you're gonna keep on doing it. But if it's not for you, you're gonna end up finding something else, or you're just drop out of it, you just realize, it's not for you. So I get what you're saying. But I don't even, honestly, I don't even really think about, 10, 15 years, where am I going to be with stand up now? I just focus on trying to be the best stand up I can be. But that being said, you do kind of have to keep in mind that it is a long-term game. Because if you don't, man, you're going to be salty as fuck.
Dude, I'm salty now, man. I've been doing it less than a year,
We all get salty, dude. When we see that, like, this person's getting booked. Are you serious? I'm way funnier than this asshole. Right? But it's like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very subjective. But yeah, I don't know. I feel, videography, I feel like you could just do your stuff and put it out right now. And you don't burn material. I feel like if I start putting,
That's true.
If I start putting my bits up there, like it's gone. Like I can't use that again. And especially in the beginning, I only have like 10 minutes maybe. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing, right? Doing stand up. I feel like now, I also noticed like right when I started my show, I feel like everybody kind of had their own mic and own show. We're at like the peak. This is like the comedy bubble. It's gonna all come crashing down pretty soon.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a bubble. I think it's more so things are coming back to life after COVID. Because I did notice that when I was gone for 3 months, I would keep up on social media. I check out posts. There's definitely a lot more shows and mics than before I left.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But I just think that's a sign of things coming back to normal. I don't necessarily think it's a bubble per se.
I mean, I think it might be a lot of people just like, I need to do my own thing or it won't.
Well, why did you start your own show?
I mean, it's because I wasn't able to get stage time, honestly.
Oh, you ain't able to get paid stage time in
No,
front of an
not
audience?
even paid, dude. I'm not even talking about paying. Just getting in front of a live audience. Like, it's so hard.
Mostly mics with just a bunch of comics.
Yeah, and then it's hard to even judge if
your material works.
My stuff is good or not, right? And then, and yeah, it's hard to, I mean, I don't know for you, but for me, as I was just, I know also I don't really ask people to be on their shows, which maybe I could, but I'm like,
I don't know, man.
I asked one person and they said no, and then I was just like,
are we talking about who I think we're talking about?
Yeah, there's only one person, and I'm like, okay. This guy.
Are you still salty about that?
Not really. I have nothing against him. It's just kind of funny to talk about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every time I see other people go on and they're like, hey man, can you like come? So last week someone asked me to, they're like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I thought he was gonna give me a spot, not this guy, but someone on the show. And then he was like, no, dude, can you like come film me? And I was like, get a tripod, dude. Like it's like I would typically, but I don't want to go to that spot where.
Are you close with this guy who asked?
He's pretty cool, yeah, he's cool. I think I would have done it at any other place, but like this place, I've been there a couple of times, and I'm just like, every time I see,
it just brings up the saltiness.
I just can't believe that this guy told me, like, he's like, oh yeah, you're not ready, and I'm like, I'm here, I'm watching the show, dude.
I remind you,
I'm like, I'm watching the show. I'm not thinking, I don't think I'm the best, but I'm saying I'm watching the show, and I'm like, dude.
I'll say two things though about that. One, that is kind of what he's known for, right? He's known for being a ball buster, like that.
Who, that guy?
Yeah.
Really?
That is his reputation, and that is what he's known. I know a comic. I'll tell you afterwards who it is, but she submitted, and he told her he finds her comedy like elitist, and then things like that.
Really?
Yeah, but he
didn't say all that.
No, but he did bookend it with like, hey, keep in mind, I'm a nobody. This is just my opinion, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But he is kind of known for being like that. So, I wouldn't take it too personally. That's kind of his reputation. And two, you did send a fucking 5-minute set from Swing and Door, an open mic where it's like 99% comics.
I mean, how else would I get on a show if I don't? I mean, the jokes
eventually,
were fine.
You're either going to be able to get a guest set somewhere where there's an actual live audience, or every now and then you go to open mics where people actually show up and there's, not an, then that's the tape you're going to be be sending in.
I think I sent.
So you didn't do yourself a favor either.
I sent a tape from Neck of the Woods, and I did okay that night.
Oh no, that's not what. I just said that's Kavita, a good friend of yours. That's not what she told me. She told me you sent the one from Swing and Door.
No.
And she even advised you, do not send this one.
No, I definitely know it's not swinging
Oh,
door.
so it's neck of the woods. But come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
even neck of the woods, most of the time it's empty, right? Those open mics, it's just comics.
Right. I mean, I thought I did well that night. It's just I don't know what it is. That's why I think it's so hard because it's subjective. It's either my jokes are not good, but these are the ones that I know people like, or he just doesn't like my jokes.
Well, I'll say,
or he doesn't like. Maybe he doesn't like who he thinks I am, because I think I get that a lot too. Because,
really,
yeah, like people have told me they're like, when I first heard you, like it's just like I'm an unlikable dude.
I don't get that at all, man.
It's because I think it's because they don't know me. I get it. I'm like, I know people can't see me right now, but I'm like a big giant Asian guy that tells maybe some people would perceive as like edgy jokes.
I don't think they're edgy that. I mean,
I don't think they are either, but it's just people wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like when you posted that Instagram post, you got introduced. Oh, this next guy's edgy as fuck. I commented, oh, apparently you're edgy as fuck now.
I know. That's why.
I guess maybe because, like, personally, I don't really think you're saying anything offensive.
It's keywords.
When obviously jokes.
Right. When I say words like abortion, it's like automatically like out. And okay, so this is actually really funny. You've been gone. There are actually keywords that will get me like woke claps, but what I'm saying is not woke at all.
That's kind of fun then, isn't it?
It's only fun for me because and I'll just tell her because I'm never going to say it again because it's just like a throwaway thing. I said it. I thought I was going to say it one time and never say it again. So this is when the whole the Supreme Court. You know how they like. There's a rumor that they're gonna get rid of Roe v. Wade. So it's not even a joke. I just said I was shocked when they decided to overturn Roe v. Wade. I would say more, but I don't think a man should have an opinion on what a woman can or cannot do with her body. So I said all these keywords. I mean, you're still probably thinking about, but what I'm saying is like I can't, because I'm a man. I can't even say I support Roe v. Wade. That's the whole point of the joke.
So where's the joke?
Well, that's the joke. People start clapping, and they're
like, I don't get there's no punchline in there.
Well, the joke is I'm saying I can't even support Roe v. Wade because I'm a man. Like whereas most people think when a man has an opinion, it's against that. Yeah. But I'm saying I can't even have an opinion either way.
I know that's one of those things.
And people clap.
I know, but they're clapping because like there's really no punchline in there. I mean, I know you think there's. But
some people get it. Like there's one time where people clap, and then like this guy just started laughing because he knows. The joke is like I can't have an opinion.
Yeah,
So this is even funnier. There's one time this girl like went into the bathroom in Neck of the Woods, and I said it, and she popped her head out just to cheer for it, and I was like,
yeah. See, I think it's probably in the way you deliver it, then, right? If you delivered like, oh, I can't even have opinion in a sarcastic manner, like, then it would hit more as a punchline. But you know what? What the fuck do I know? I've been doing comedy less than a year too, but. Right. I guess that's just the way I would have, because like to me it wasn't apparent that like I get it. Yeah. But it didn't come off, as a joke. So I can get why people would clap and not necessarily be offended.
They clap every single time. And then I say something like really crazy after that and they
that's
don't
great.
Like it.
I think that's great as a setup, and then you completely do a 180 on them and say something horrible to flip it. Then I would get it. But going back to because we were talking about getting. God damn it! I had something I wanted to say because we were talking about that show. You're talking about submitting for shows and things like that.
Mm-hmm. This guy's a ball buster.
This guy's a ball buster. Getting in front of mics. I completely forgot now.
Here's the thing, though. The guy. I actually have nothing against him. It's his show. Do whatever you want with your show. Like
I know now.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you first. I'm not gonna forget.
I'm just thinking like I'm not hating on him. It's just funny for me to say like that's my arch nemesis. But he at the same time, but it does suck that he's kind of gatekeeping because that is a good show. Like it always turns out with like a bunch of people. Yeah. And I know my jokes work with those people because they're all like, I don't want to say it, but they're
yeah. Well, it's an Asian audience. Mm-hmm. You can say that without giving it away.
Oh, right? No. Everybody knows who this show is.
The only people who like listen to this and watch this now are comics, so everyone knows who you're talking about, and everyone knows what show we're talking about. Right. But for maybe the handful of people who aren't comics and all this, and we don't have to burn that bridge. No, what I was gonna say is, well, you book your own shows now, right? You realize that it's not really just about booking, who's funny, who's not funny. It's more so balancing the types of humor with the people who are you're booking too, right?
It's actually a little different because I'm doing it with a couple guys. Abe
Yeah, I
Rabinowitz.
love Abe. I love Abe,
I'm doing
man.
with
He's
him,
hilarious.
and Eric was helping us out. Eric Noon, he was on your show.
Yeah, I love Eric too. Eric's a great guy, and
And
he's
then
hilarious
we're
too.
doing like a variety show. So we have a magician come out a couple of times. We have like a what do you call those? Whose line is it? Improv. So and then the three of us do it. So we only have there's only really like one or two people we could book, and it's like kind of like balancing out like who we want. So it's not even I'm not booking every guest. So it's a lot. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but you see, I mean,
I was just trying to get all my friends on there earlier, just because I was like, I don't know how long the show is gonna last, but, I don't think about it too much.
no, but
really.
you see yourself, right? It's not just based on who's funny and who's not.
Right.
But you're just trying to get your friends on because you're trying you want to help your friends out.
Mhm.
Because there's the thing, like, I produced the show back in December before the new year.
Oh yeah,
Right.
where at?
In Oakland. Yeah, thanks for coming out and supporting, you jackass.
Which one where'd you do it at?
No, I did it at this place called Baba's House.
I've been there once.
You could only seat 16, and we packed that out.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was a great show, small space, we
Mhm.
packed out, the 16, but
It gets real hot up there though.
yeah, that's the thing. And there's no ventilation, right? So not going to be doing that again. And then I think, I'm not gonna name names, but one comic who I booked the next day found out that person was tested positive for COVID. So like you're in this small ass room with no ventilation. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a no, man. It's like, so we dodged the bullet,
Okay.
thankfully, but it's like, yeah, I guess it's not gonna happen again. But my point is, when I was booking the comics for that, one, I had the mindset of I wanted to book people who normally don't get booked because I wanted to shed light on the people who I feel deserve it, but are just not getting it.
Sure.
And then two, it was a balancing act. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get this person to open because I know they got a lot of energy. They're really good at engaging with the audience, so they can really warm that audience up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to book this person just because I really find they're funny, but they're a little bit more on the low energy side. So I know after that person, I'm going to need to bring someone up who's high energy. So, there's other things you keep in mind other than just funny or not funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's so, I mean,
I haven't thought about all that yet.
well, I mean,
I feel like everybody I picked so far, I only picked like a couple of people I thought they were really funny. And we've had good comics on so far. But it sucks. The crowd thing is where it's rough.
yeah, it's tough, like getting people to come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys try in order to?
Dude, we printed like a bunch of flyers. No one came with flyers. It was all either my friends, Eric's friends, or Abe's friends. And so the first show, we had a really good show. Like, this is the best, right? And when like your friend brings their friends that don't know you, it's the best. So the first day, there was like 25 to 30 people.
Oh, nice.
On top of Boozeland. So it felt like a packed house. And like 15 of the people were either like from me or like they're connected to me. And then like Abe brought like a handful of people, and then Eric brought a handful of people. And it was such a great show just because there were so many people there. And then the next week it was like fewer and fewer and fewer. And once it gets down to like 6 people, it's rough.
It is, dude.
And like laughter, it's what do you call it? Like it's
contagious.
Because there's some people, like one of my friends told me at the last show, he was like, yeah, it was like he was talking about some guy's joke. He's like, oh yeah, it was funny, but I didn't laugh. And I was like, dude, why would you do that? That's but I get it. I mean, we don't deserve to get the ha-has if it doesn't come out. But I know sometimes people are like, oh, that's funny, but they don't laugh.
It's I think you're right. When there's less people tend to be a little bit more reserved in how loud they laugh. I think that's just human nature.
Yeah.
I just did a competition this past Wednesday, and nobody was paying attention. Right? I mean, I did everything I could right at the top to engage with them, make sure they pay attention. But like, there's 2 ladies who are paying attention. I could see them like kind of giggling and laughing, and I just like call it out. it's okay to laugh out loud. You don't have to hold
Yeah.
it back. Like, I promise you, it's much more fun if you just let it out.
Yeah.
But I think it's just human nature. Because as an audience member, you don't want to draw that attention on yourself either.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
you just kind of, or just kind of smile.
Those are the rough ones where it's packed, but no one's
That's a
listening.
different scenario, dude.
Like
You talk about pack, but no one's listening.
yeah, and you could hear their
The
conversation. And I was like, oh man.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this competition, those people.
Oh, there's a
didn't-
competition.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
those people didn't come there for the competition. Those people came there to watch the Warriors game,
And they're just
and they're
happens
just
to be a
hanging
ton.
out after the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
All right, this is like, what do you expect? I mean, well, I went into it, though. I just like doing competitions because it forces you to tighten up your material and be honest with it.
Mhm.
I feel like it's a good practice. I like performing where there's something at stake.
Yeah.
Instead of just performing in front of a bunch of comics
Mhm.
all the time. So at least, it puts a little bit more pressure on you. It's
Yeah,
good to
yeah.
expose yourself to that. And, three, it's good to see other comics, doing the same thing. Here's their tightened material. Here's them performing under pressure. It's
Mhm.
kind of like a good gauge. Like, oh man, this person's really good. Or like, why is it working
Yeah.
with this audience? It's like, okay, I can, maybe do my jokes, but in a more accessible. That's one thing I learned, from Jason Cole. Jason Cole put on that great competition, the Bay Area's best kinda okay or kinda good
Oh, really? I
new
didn't
comic.
know. Okay.
This is before I left. This is in February. There was like 16 of us. There was a great turnout, a live audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned there, like, some of our jokes, comics may find them funny, but they might be a little bit too over the edge or a little bit too insensitive, where a general audience,
I feel
Well,
it's the
just-
opposite for me, man.
will just be like too offended by it, right?
Do you feel that way? I feel
No,
like
no.
I feel like the comics get more offended.
No, that
Oh,
hasn't
that's
been
so
that
bad.
way for me.
Okay.
Like, 'cause generally speaking, comics laugh at the twisted sick shit. They don't, they dig that. But like, whereas another
Okay.
audience might not. But I saw like comics that were able still to talk about, these fucked up topics, but they
Mhm.
just did it in a way that was a little bit more accessible. It's like,
Okay.
holy shit, that's a great challenge to put for yourself and to write your material. And that way, so that's why I like doing competitions. I learn a lot from them. I don't think I'm gonna win
Mm-hmm.
any of these. Like, I'm just realistic. But I go in there with the mindset that I'm gonna try to win.
Sure.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't done. I was going to sign up for Neck of the Woods one, but I just never got to it. But
Oh, there's a competition in Neck of the Woods.
yeah,
Is that like a monthly thing or?
it goes on until like maybe September, but I think it's full now. It was open for a long time. I just never got around to.
Oh, you mean it's in September?
No, it's going. It's like the
A
last.
monthly competition or what?
Yeah, it leads up to it. So the winners of each week will go on.
Ah,
I think that's how it works.
did they get a good audience turnout for that?
I don't know. I haven't gone. I didn't sign up for it. But yeah,
I feel like you actually got in better shape since I've been gone, dude.
no, dude. I just
You still doing
I just look-
BJJ?
no, dude. I quit like before the New Year's. But I'm
What
at
do you wear?
24
You wear,
hours
like
now.
A corset, all your fat's just getting shaped the right
No,
way.
dude. I just look. I hide fat well with clothes on. This is one of the reasons why I don't like losing weight because maybe a year and a half now I got down to like super low weight, but I still had a lot of body fat.
Uh-huh.
But it's like I looked skinny with clothes on, but I look fat with clothes off, which is worse. I'm like I just rather just be a regular fat guy because I think I just have like wider shoulders, so it just looks better when I'm like bigger,
Yeah, that's not a surprise. You want to throw on the ladies, right? Getting ready to pull them on, take out that shirt.
Yeah, they're like, what? Oh my gosh.
I don't think girls mind as much as guys do when it comes to.
I
that
think it's
stuff,
just for me. Like, I don't think girls care about like having a six pack. I never had it, but I'm like, I'm just starting to think I have to cut down a lot of weight. Like right now, I'm like, I got up, so I'm like 227 right now. I got down to like 185
Oh no way!
last year, and it was just like I just looked skinny fat, and I was like, this is worse than being like 230.
Well, how
to
tall
me.
are you?
6 foot.
6 foot.
I don't think I have a lot of muscle in my body.
Yeah, because like 185, if that's like that's a good amount of that muscle is gonna look good.
Yeah,
on you,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And man, I guess I don't, but
Well, I mean, that's something that can be changed. You're still young. You're not that old.
yeah. No, I go to the gym. I'm at 24 hours after I quit the MMA thing.
Yeah, but the working out thing, that's really the smallest part of
Yeah, it's all
being
diet.
in shape. So yeah, it's
It's
all
all diet.
nutrition.
But I also don't want to be like, oh, I'm not cut down to like 155 to be to have some,
Well, the thing is, like,
some
'cause
abs
this used-
popping out.
I was a personal trainer for years. Like, fitness used to be my life.
Mm,
In order to get your abs to show, you got to be hovering around the 10% body fat range.
Right.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. So you're gonna
I'm gonna have to
shed
cut
pounds.
way down, but I'm
Yeah,
like
but
the 185 for me. I looked so skinny, like it was insane.
well, you probably lost like a lot of muscle. How did you get to 185? What did you do?
Intermittent fasting,
That's
which is
nothing else.
yeah. And then there's like regular pandemic. So I did work out, but I did it at home.
I know, but
Push ups, sit ups,
were you
walking a
making
lot.
sure to get enough protein so you don't lose any muscle.
Oh yeah, dude. I was eating a ribeye steak and 6 eggs every day.
Uh-huh.
One meal a day. That's
I know, but for a big guy like you, that's not enough. Believe it or not,
a lot of protein, dude.
and it's not that much. It's not
Really?
for a big guy like you. Yeah. There's like that's where like protein shakes and those protein bars really come in handy because it's just the easiest way to get the protein.
But the calories
You
are
need-
high. That's
Well, that's the thing too, is you actually need a certain amount of calories to keep muscle. Right.
Right.
So that's why
and I think I was walking a lot. I was walking like 5 miles a day just
just
get out of the house.
yeah. So
before.
the thing is, the way the body usually responds is, it's either you can add on muscle or you
Mhm.
can, like be shredding the fat off, melting fat off. It's really hard to do both at the same time. That's
Yeah,
why a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of people tend to bulk up first,
Mhm.
and then once they bulk up, they'll start doing the shredding. Or, I mean, they're losing the fat. You're gonna end up losing a little bit of muscle too, but luckily
Mhm.
things went right. You added enough muscle where you won't lose all
Right,
of it.
right.
Because the body can only respond in different ways. So when you're losing a lot of weight like that, chances are you're losing
Mhm.
muscle too.
Yeah.
That's a trick. I mean, I know this
I've been-
became
I've
a
been-
health podcast
I've
here.
been bulking for the past 30 years. dude. I'm
There
ready
you
for it.
go.
But yeah, I mean, I go to the gym. Well, the last couple of weeks. Well, here's the thing about connecting back to doing the shows. Like
Uh-huh.
running my own show was really like stressful.
But don't you have two other guys to help you out, right?
But they don't have friends here. I like grew up
Oh,
here.
yeah, Abe's from Chicago. That's
Yeah,
right,
and he's from Oakland, and he said like his friends doesn't really come out, and it's hard for his friends to come out here. And I like want to have a good audience for the people that come out, especially these people that are trying far away to do improv or do magic, like with props. I'm like, I don't want you guys to do it to an empty room, but
Hey, do you want to take a break real quick? You can put in your Bobo order now that they're
Yeah,
open.
sure,
All right, let's take a quick break. So you're saying you went for a walk?
yeah, right before here. At,
Where?
are you from Fremont?
No.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, I didn't realize how far this was from the city. I thought it was close to Oakland, but it's not. They're like
Yeah,
a triangle.
man, yeah. I give you the spot ahead of time.
I know. I'm just dumb. But I like found a place to walk, Alameda River, and it's just so hot today. And right before I got to the water part of it, I had to come back because I had to come here. But I did a good like 90 minutes out there in the brutal sun.
So you're trying to lose weight. So you got this big gulp that you're drinking right now.
It's Diet Coke, man. It's the drink of the gods,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
ask me. No, I just like walking. I could walk like for a long time.
Do you listen to podcasts or music, or do you prefer to be caveman style? And
I listen to a podcast. Yeah.
What do you listen to?
Joe Rogan. I listen to like finance podcasts.
Yeah, you talk about like investing every now and then.
Dude,
on
yeah,
your
I talk
podcast.
about-
Yeah, you're into it.
I end up talking a lot more about like finance stuff. It's hard because I'm trying to like make it funny, but I don't think that happens when I'm by myself. So I just talk about what's going on in the stock market and how I'm like
Yeah.
adjusting my stuff. But yeah, I just listen to it. And sometimes I'm not even like fully listen to it. A lot of times
Are you day trading?
No, I'm not day trading. I like to like invest for the future. I think day trading. I know people make money, but like most people lose money, and I'm not smart enough
Because if
to.
you're investing for the future, I mean, you don't really have to manage it too much. You invest in like an index fund, right? And ride the long curve.
Yeah, yeah,
And you end up averaging, 10, 11% return,
yeah.
over like 20, 30 years. You don't really, when things are volatile, you don't really have to think
Yeah.
about, especially if you're doing the dollar cost averaging, right? Are you
Mhm.
doing that?
Yeah, I am. So I mean, yeah, Actually, what the study's shown, this is so nerdy. It's probably better to like invest all your money all at once
Really?
than doing dollar cost
That's interesting.
averaging. Because because the whole thing about not knowing like when the market will go up, you might just be invested fewer dollars. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I guess
Because if you're putting $10,000 all at once now instead of like $1,000 every month,
uh-huh.
like sure you might get a better price if the market keeps going down, but that's you actually predicting the market because you're assuming it might go down.
But
So
it
that-
always goes down.
It doesn't. So I'm saying like if that $10,000 might serve you better because you might be dollar cost averaging on the way up also, and you might not be instead of being fully invested.
I get that, but
a lot of it has to do with like psychology. So I check the market a lot because I like to be involved. So I was just like, I know it's probably better if I just put all my money in an index right now and don't look at it for 50 years, but I like to feel involved. So it's just part of like psychology. Because if I put it all in it at once, sure, I'll probably be better off in 10 years, but it's like, how am I going to get to that 10 years? It might be like a 2-year where it's just getting hammered and I'll go crazy.
Yeah. You're the first person I've ever heard say it that way, because stock markets, generally speaking, will have its ups and downs, right? So
This past year it's just going all the way down.
I know,
dude.
but okay, I know, but I'm saying that that's just 1 year, right? I guess it depends on how long of a time window are you looking at, right?
Yeah.
Because generally, if you're investing in an index fund or mutual fund, you're not looking at a 5-year window. You're looking at like a retirement window.
Yeah. So if you think about it as like time in the market, it's probably better to have more money in it time wise than like a little bit at a time is what people are saying. Because you're not fully invested that whole, let's say you have $10,000, it's probably better to be fully invested for that $10,000 for the whole year than like $1,000 for a year, $2,000 for $1,000 for a year, $2,000 for 11 months and so forth.
I don't get the math. How does it?
Because it's about time in the market, right?
Okay.
So the longer you could stay invested, the better. So just think of each dollar as a time
Assuming
in the market.
it's going up.
Yeah, history is not a prediction of the future, but so it's
I guess generally speaking,
think of each dollar you have. It's probably better to have that dollar in the market for a longer period of time. But if your dollar cost averaging, some of your dollars will only be in the market for a fewer amount of time. If that makes sense.
I would love to hear a debate between.
I'm not a
I know
financial guy.
That's like the first time I've ever heard.
Yeah, but I don't do it. Here's the crazy thing: I don't do it. I dollar cost average because I know if I put a significant chunk of my money right now and it just sucks for the next 2 years, like it will be hard to deal with.
Knowing yourself emotionally, psychologically.
Yeah, I might be better off in 10 years, but how I get to that 10 years, it might be like grueling.
Do you invest in crypto at all?
I do.
Yeah, which one? Like, what's your mindset in terms of investing in crypto?
I think Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe Ethereum, but like everything else is kind of just going to shit. You could probably get lucky and get rich in it, but it's
like day trading. At this point, you really gotta.
No, I don't. I'm never gonna sell. I don't have that much worth of Bitcoin. I'm dollar cost averaging right now.
Well, it's really low right now. It's like in 29,000. It's been fluctuating between 28,000 and 30,000 for like
it could go
a few
lower.
weeks.
It could go. So for this one, I'm dollar cost averaging because I feel like the risk is, or not. I don't know. It's just psychology. So I think Bitcoin will be here for a long time. I don't know how much it'll be worth. I think it's more likely it'll be worth like $100,000 a coin by the next time the government lowers interest rates to anybody that cares about this.
When I saw that,
I don't know if it will be $1 million a coin, but there's a possibility. But
who knows? But I don't think 100,000's out of the question because it's like at its peak, it was at 60 something thousand, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
68, I think.
Yeah, like what's another 32,000 for something like crypto when the values can rise so quickly. I don't think that's out of the question. No, but when I saw it go back down to 29, I bought more. I bought more into it. It's just it's also.
I mean, don't buy it with like money you can't.
Yeah, obviously that's the way
there.
investing. That's how investing works. You don't want to be taking your life savings that you can't.
Well, you hear about people that lose everything. They take a loan out because they think this is a sure win, and I'm like,
that's being smart about it. Then, right? You really got to research how investing works and the best way to
Yeah.
go about it. You don't want to just
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people
Well-
just gamble. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the stock or investing is a little bit of gambling, but you need to be able to assess
well, it should be educated gambling.
your own risk.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, this really just turned into a finance podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's great. I don't care.
Wherever
We
it
can
could
talk
go.
about we talk
But
about
okay, so
whatever.
here's the thing about so things that I've been really into lately are like energy, so oil and uranium, like stuff like that. Commodities aren't always in a cycle,
Mm.
but because people always how like obviously like capitalism, supply and demand. That's how things work, right? When there's too much of something, it becomes cheap, but then when there's high demand, this price goes up. But because commodities take a lot of like oil and uranium for nuclear power, it takes a long time for businesses to build up to get more of it. You know what I mean? So like usually it takes like a couple years. We'll have like a couple years of really good, and then there'll be too much, and then it will just have a heavy drop. So I mean, so stuff like that. It just keeps me interested in the market. Like I probably should stay away, but
Where does this interest in finances come from? Is that your background?
no, I mean I do. No, it's not my background. I did end up getting a business degree in like a few years ago, but it was,
Oh, really?
but it has nothing to do
You
with
have an MBA.
yeah, but it has nothing to do with
What you
anything.
do?
Nothing with it. It's just I wanted to get it, and it's bullshit. Like anyone,
Did you
anyone
take out a loan?
No, I just paid for it, which
At least
is
you didn't
dumb.
take out a loan.
No, but it's dumb. I should have used that money and bought a property back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hindsight's 2020,
Yeah,
as they
but-
say.
Also, my mindset, I knew it would be bugging me because I do have an interest in finance, but I just always
Did
kind
your
of a
parents
thing.
pressure you to get that MBA?
No, they told me not to get it.
Sounds like the opposite.
yeah,
They
yeah,
should
yeah.
try
They're like, yeah,
to-
don't get it. And I was like, oh, no, I have to because I'm gonna keep thinking about it. So
Well, what drove you to get it? Because I'm the kind of person I think college is highly overrated, especially these days.
I share the same thing, but I also got like brainwashed at a young age about college degrees.
Well, that's basically what
Here's
the
the
whole
thing,
school track is in the States, right? Is to really
Yeah,
push
it's
you
stupid.
into
I don't
that.
need you don't need most degrees. It's not like you get a business degree. It doesn't mean that you could just go into a bank, start
Yeah.
working. Guess what? They have to train you.
Yeah.
So if they're training you, why do you have to go?
Yeah.
And then a lot of the jobs are not that serious. I mean, you could learn if you're like really interested in something, you could probably teach it and learn it in such a shorter period of time than going like 4 years. But yeah, I mean, I don't think most, you know what I mean? Like you're doing videography. Like I'm pretty sure there's a ton of people that got into a film degree, but if you don't actually practice and do it, then it's really useless.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I knew.
And do you
from
really
the get-go,
need
I never intended to get a film degree to begin with.
Did you get a film degree?
No, you don't need it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and that's a waste of time.
The only thing people, if you want to do film, like people just go to USC, but that's because there's like a pipeline of, because two people went there that were famous, right? Like,
well, I mean that is that is the theory is you go to a film school,
it's
that's
to network.
that's developed. Yeah, it's really your network. Yeah, that helps
Yeah,
a lot. But I know by no means does that mean you're actually going to start getting jobs, anything
right.
like that. Because not for you know who Ryan Coogler is. So Ryan Coogler, I
No.
believe, went to San Francisco State. He made the film Fruitvale.
Okay.
Okay, and then from Fruitvale,
Oh yeah,
I
he
think
did.
he did Creed, and then
Black
from Creed
Panther.
he did Black Panther, and then he did Fruitvale straight out of San Francisco State.
Yeah,
For every Ryan Coogler, it's like 100,000 who don't get anywhere.
yeah.
with that
but
film
you
degree,
just,
don't you?
well, it's just you have to make the work. So he proved himself with.
Oh well, you know what? I mean,
How do you get Fruitvale? Did he just make it?
I'm not sure. Actually, my cousin's husband was the gaffer on it. For those who don't know, the gaffer is the one who's in charge of setting up all the lights,
Okay.
right, and helping with make the technical decisions, about lighting. He was a gaffer on that. I don't know. I don't know how Ryan Coogler got that movie made, but you know what? It's just like anything else. Luck plays so much into it.
Yeah.
It's just like with comedy, right? Like even though we've been doing it less than a year, it's like ridiculously clear that it's not just about being funny in terms of getting booked.
I feel it has
that's
very little. To do
Yeah,
with
yeah,
being
it's just
funny.
a small part of the equation, right? And even
Yeah.
because you listen to Joe Rogan, right? What do
Yeah.
they say all the time? Just focus on being funny, be undeniable.
Yeah.
But even at their level, being funny is just not enough. Because if it was all just about being funny, then Dave Attell would be selling out arenas.
Right.
But he can only do clubs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't think he even does theaters.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not just about being funny. There's, marketing. How big of a following do you have? There's luck that goes into it. Do you end up knowing the right people? Look at Brendan Schaub, right? Former UFC fighter. He just happens to be best friends with Brian Callen, Joe Rogan, 2 national headliners. So obviously he's going to get that stage time and that exposure right away.
Well, he also has a following on his podcast.
I know, but in terms of like getting booked
Yeah.
for the shows, he's got a super,
if people know you, you'll get booked. So if I had like 100,000 followers
exactly, but
on YouTube, I could get
But think about
punchline.
it, being Joe Rogan taking you on the road opening for him. You're telling me that's not a huge advantage?
Oh, definitely.
Right.
It made a career for Hans Kim.
Yeah, for Hans Kim, Tony Hinchcliffe,
Yeah.
Tom Segura,
Yeah.
Ari Shafir, like all of those guys he took on the road with him, right?
Yep. He's the kingmaker.
I know, but it's
You
like,
just got to go on his podcast.
But what about those people who aren't lucky enough to be Joe Rogan's buddies like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just luck, right? Don't hold that against Joe Rogan, but there's so much that goes into it that's just out of your control.
I think stand up on its own is not enough. You could probably build a following if you have a podcast or you start putting sketches on YouTube. So I think it makes it a lot easier for people to do it.
You can do it, but as someone who's had a YouTube channel for 2 years now, right, to put out content, on a consistent basis, it's not as if just starting the podcast or putting on sketches content and automatically the following's
Right.
gonna be growing too. There's a lot more to it in terms of growing that. And
Well, there's 2 parts to it because I've made videos during the pandemic like crazy, and there are ones that do really well, and I know which ones will do well. But then I also end up just doing stuff that I don't want to do, and it doesn't do well. Because I have like videos that only get like 20 people to watch it, but then I've had ones that are like a couple of thousand, and I know
what was that about?
So I did like a week where I did intermittent fasting, but I just ate fast food. Or I did
that would definitely get. Yeah.
I could just keep doing videos like that. And I did videos on I went to Vegas during the pandemic and I just like filmed it.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was like 4,000 views, which is not a lot for like.
No, it's still good.
For me, it's really a lot. So I could
good.
keep making videos like that, but
it's all a matter of like, well, is that what you want to do?
No, I was just bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I was at Long Beach at the time, and I was just doing like reviews of restaurants at Long Beach, which is probably the dumbest thing because nobody really just goes to Long Beach. But I was just like, I'm just gonna make this. So
how did that perform?
Not as well as like obviously Vegas. I had like maybe like 50 would be a good, or 100 would be good, but people don't go. It's not a destination where people go to eat or just go to hang out. You either live there or you go there because you have to go to a conference.
Yeah, but so
But if I started doing videos out here in San Francisco, I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty more popular. But I just don't feel like it. But I mean, if you're a comedian and you want to do sketch, I think sketch will do well if it's funny. Because I know you're doing podcasts hard for people to listen to if they don't know you.
Sketch is a lot of work, man.
It is.
As someone like a former videographer, I used to write, for theater too, doing that. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Too. I know because I know there's definitely like I've met quite a few comedians who say they really want to start getting into doing sketches and all that. That's the tough part where it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but I don't know. Tell me if this is wrong, but I think it's almost like comedy, like acting. If you're doing sketch shows, there's always a bunch of people willing to work for free.
Oh, there's
so
always...
it's a lot of work. But I'm saying like if you have a good idea, it'll be worth it to put out. But I think a lot of people put like sketch. I'm putting quote ups right now. They're not good, and that's when like you feel the dread, right? Because you have to put even if you do shitty like sketches, is a lot of work to put.
I think I don't know. My view on it is this: yeah, sketches are really. It depends on like what your ambition for it is, because to do like a really well done sketch, it's a lot of fucking work,
right?
As someone does videography. But that being said, I think more importantly, like you're right, you do have to do more than just stand-up comedy, because at the end of the day, when you start getting booked, it's really about putting butts in seats. That's what matters, right? Or
if you've done it a long enough time and you have enough material, you just need to go viral. with your stand-up, which I don't know of it.
Not exactly, but that's like the biggest understatement of the year. Oh, you just need to go viral, right? That's like,
I mean, some people do. You who's the Asian guy in Silicon Valley? Long haired kid.
Oh yeah, no, is it Jimmy O?
Yeah, Jimmy O
right?
Yang.
Yeah.
I knew about him before he got famous, which is that show, because I saw his clips. But he wasn't big, but I feel like if I didn't know you, like, there's probably other people that know you, because I don't really venture outside of like the bigger names of comedy, but I like happen to find, because he was on the Laugh Factor and they would post clips.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he had a small enough following where he would be like an opener or middle act.
Okay, but there you go, then, right? It was a clip by Laugh Factory, so already you're benefiting from Laugh Factory's reputation and following, right? So there's a lot. So you see, there's a lot of like factors that go into even if you're putting clips. About it actually getting viewed. But that being said,
you could use hashtags, dude. I'm pretty sure I probably looked up like Asian comedian or something.
Hashtags. I mean, they don't they don't work nearly as much as they used to back in the early days of Instagram. They just don't have the weight that they used to. Because this is something I really looked into like over the past 2 years, right? Trying to build a YouTube channel. But that being said, I think whether you want to do sketch, whether you want to do podcasts, you should just do something.
Yeah.
Because what I learned like doing the YouTube channel is the first thing you try usually is not the one that ends up working out. As you do things, you kind of learn from your mistakes and you kind of just start finding your own voice in terms of the content you want to make. And it's an evolving process. It's kind of like a work in progress. It's never just going to be set in stone. So I feel like you should just start doing something just for the sake that, this is just step one in a long process of you probably finding what's going to work.
Your boba show is doing pretty good, right?
Not really. No, but you know what's funny? The only reason I started, Boba Diaries is because I was doing a web series with my buddy Sam. We do taco tours where we go to different cities and review taquerias. And from that, he was starting to get invites, for reviews. Hey, come try out our food for free, like getting these hookups.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get in on this. I want to get some free hookups too.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I started doing Boba Diaries.
Right.
And it's something fun to do with my wife. And it worked. I started getting those free invites. But in terms of views,
dude, if you should start doing it specifically in the East Bay, or San Francisco, I think it'll just blow up. Because these are like San Francisco is a destination place. So if you did like,
dude, we've done places in San Francisco, share it in the Bay Area, Facebook groups, things like that. Still, it doesn't really do that well. I mean, typically it'll get over 100 views, but by no means are you going to start going viral off of that. So that's what I say. There's a lot of things that, go into it. Probably what's going on is, generally speaking, people aren't looking for boba stuff on YouTube. But you know what? Tacos, people are definitely looking for taco spots on YouTube. Because, my buddy's channel, Vita Eats, the one where we do taco reviews, it's consistently growing. And we haven't been putting out content, for a while, right? And it's over 1,000 subscribers. Because there's people looking for tacos.
Yeah. That blows my mind because my old videos are still getting like,
you did taco reviews or burrito reviews.
Or the ones that are doing really well. They still do they do better than my new videos. Like they're getting you get 100 views and I'm just like.
Because you hit on to something that people, are just naturally interested in and want to look for.
Are you thinking about doing a sketch or?
No, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
I mean, if people want me, to be in their sketches, they need people. I'm happy to help out in that way, but I'm not interested in filming them.
Okay.
I'm not interested in writing them because I've already gone down that path, and I just know the amount of work that it takes to do it, to a standard that I'm gonna be happy putting out. It's just not feasible for me right now. For me, it's all about low effort but high output in terms of putting out content because it's the only way I can keep it up. That's why I record 3 or 4 of these in one day.
Right. Do you know how to do mostly video, but you know how to produce the whole thing? Do you know audio stuff? Because that I feel like is way harder than just.
That's what a videographer does. You have to know all of that.
You got to go in and take I didn't know this for a long time, but you have to go in and get just record the ambiance of the place.
Yeah, it depends what you're doing. I mean, to get the room tone really helps out One is
Especially
like,
if you're doing a sketch, like you don't want
well, if you do
the noise to be like crazy in the background. You know
no,
what I mean?
that's not really. It's not really about that. The room tone is really more so to fill in the gaps. When you have dialogue, and then when
Mhm.
you're acting scenes, there are moments when they're just staring at each other, right, and they're not saying anything.
Mm.
You never just want complete silence because
Yeah,
it's not how real life works,
yeah.
right? And you just feel like, oh, what the fuck, did the audio just break on
Right.
this video? That's where the room tone
Mhm.
really helps out, and then a room tone will help out if when you're cutting dialogue up into pieces, taking different takes,
Mhm.
because things change in the room tone. All of a sudden you hear, hey, how come the background sounds a little bit different?
Right,
Because I
right.
took that take from a different one, so that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the room tone helps out. It keeps it consistent.
Right.
In terms of like eliminating background noise, no, it's really just about shooting in a pristine environment. And if you're not in a pristine environment, you have to know how to make it an ideal
Mhm.
environment for work. That's why I say there's a lot of work that goes into doing it right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not interested in doing all that. It's just, yeah.
Do you still do
I've had enough of
videography
that.
for like money for work?
You know what? I've only recently got back into doing that again. I used to work for a media agency
Okay.
before COVID hit. Then I left that. I was a producer editor there, and then I left that job so that I could use my skills for my wife's nonprofit instead. Because it's like it didn't make any sense to me. Why am I
Mhm.
using my skills to help this agency get rich? I should be using it for my wife's nonprofit.
Mhm.
And I'm not a full-time job kind of person. Like I had enough of that.
Yeah.
But so I left the freelance game for a while, and I was just, and then the COVID hit, and those unemployment checks were rolling in with the extra 600 per week. Ah man, I was
Yeah.
just enjoying that ride for as long as I could, dude.
Mhm.
That was a sweet ride.
Mhm.
Oh man, those were good days. I love COVID. COVID was fucking awesome. Oh man, I feel like
That's why inflation happened.
yeah. I mean, where you're just fucking printing money like crazy,
Mhm.
nothing to back it up. It was like, but you know what I did with that money? What do you think is funding the tiny house in the Philippines?
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
Why is it so cheap?
Yeah. So
Did you own the land before? Or? So you
yeah,
had the land from before?
we bought the land 2 years ago,
Oh, okay.
and then I just
Cool.
took that unemployment money, turned it around, and now it's gonna go make money for us. So,
Nice, dude.
yeah. So it's only now that I've come back because I'm only back for 3 months.
Hmm.
It's like okay, I do Instacart and DoorDash. It's great to pay the bills.
Really?
It's
Did
it's
they
enough.
pay you enough?
It's enough to get by, but it's not enough to really if you want to move forward anywhere. No, you're just gonna be like a hamster in a wheel. You're not really. You're gonna sustain yourself, but you're not really gonna get by. You can pay your bills.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to get back into freelancing again.
Yeah.
Because that would be the best option.
Cool.
Are you
Okay.
interested in doing sketch? Is that why you brought it up? Is that something?
I don't know. I don't know if I am or not. I was just asking. I think I know people like that do comedy right now. They're like, oh yeah, I really want to do sketch, and then like I would talk to them about it, but like their stuff is so safe, and then I would give them an idea, and they're like, oh, you can't do that. It's because it's like not, you know what I mean? It's because it's not like within the woke thing,
Ah,
you know.
well, yeah. Good luck to them then. Good luck.
But it's like I'm like I think people should. Because I thought like I'm like yeah, sketch is gonna be super difficult, and I don't think I have anything in my mind right now that it would be even worth putting out.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you
But if
know-
I had something that was I had a really good idea and I wrote something and I was like, this is really funny, then I'll find a way to.
Well, you know how I'm sure some comics will post their sketches like on Instagram. Do you watch them?
No, I can't.
Me too. I can't watch it. I just can't.
Not because I think I don't know if it's funny or not, but I don't. Here's the other thing about Instagram. You're a little bit older than me, but I feel like I'm older than like the people that are really into social media. Like honestly, before I started doing comedy, I used Instagram basically to follow like
hot chicks.
And then like you bring up Cover that she was the first person. She was just like, hey, we should like exchange Instagrams. And I was like, why? Like,
Is that how you pronounce her name? Kavita?
it's her fault. She tells
could-
people her
it's
name one
Kavita.
way, and then she'll like tell you like, oh, actually, my name is Kavita, and I'll be like,
Kavita.
and I was like, actually, it's not because
God damn. I feel like such an asshole. I've been
no,
saying Kavita.
she goes up there and says her name's Kavita.
Kavita. Okay,
It's
I'll
Kavita.
be calling her Kavita from now on.
But she was the first person like, hey, we should like exchange Instagram as a tool. And I was just like, and then because she did that, like I just started following all these people that are comics.
Yeah, it's a great way to to stay connected. Honestly, 'cause all you
Yeah.
do is you just comment on a photo every now and then. You're like,
I don't
it's
even-
an easy way to stay connected.
The crazy thing is I don't even follow my good friends on Instagram, and they start getting mad because I was just like, well, I might as well follow them now too. And they're
Yeah.
like, dude, I've known you since we were kids. And they've been following me for like 10 years. And then and then like when I don't even know how to do Instagram stories until I had my show. So I was just like, oh, is this how it works? Like I don't know how to use Instagram as a way to connect. I now use it now that I have a show, I literally just post stuff and I just don't even go on it.
Yeah, because for me, it's just been the easiest way to stay connected because I'm horrible at keeping in touch. I'm horrible at networking. That's really my weakness, and I've just found Instagram is the easiest way to stay connected with people. So because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
that's the way it works in anything. But to get back to to like watching the sketches that comics do, it's not because I don't think they're funny or anything like that. Actually, I don't know because I never watch them. I don't watch them because, coming from the filmmaking videography background, I have a hard time watching videos that are just not well done. Like I know
that's why
production wise, it's not going to be what I think it should be.
Yeah.
Like audio, like video, like the angles and everything. So it's like I can't.
I feel the same way, and I feel like those sketches are such a throwaway. But if like someone we knew did something and they put it on YouTube, it could be like garbage. But if it's like more than 30 seconds, I would watch it just because I'm like these Instagram, like these people that make them, they make it all the time, and I'm not gonna watch all of them. But if they made like a YouTube video, right, and even if it sucks, I'm more likely to watch it if they have like a scripted
more
thing.
curiosity about it.
And I just know it just probably means more to them than them doing trying to do like a funny 10-second thing on Instagram that it'll never end. Like I can't watch it.
I know a lot of people are getting into is TikTok.
I'm not on it.
That's the hottest. And I just have no interest in it. I'm an old man. I'm 41 years old. But TikTok is like what Instagram used to be in the early days, where it's a lot easier to grow a huge following right now. So a lot of people are getting, and obviously it's the hottest thing, the current hottest.
Do you
thing,
have a TikTok account?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know if this is true anymore. This is what I heard. So if you ever get a TikTok and the first video, you should put a lot of effort on the first video because the company makes it easier. They make your first post is going to be your most popular vote to suck you in. So if you want to get viral, like you have to make something that's really good to actually go viral, because people would put something good and they'll be, oh, I got like 10,000 views. But from what I read, it's like that's how they get you in. They give you more exposure on your first post, and the people would think they're actually better than they really are. But if you like put a lot of effort into your first post and it like blows up, like don't squander your first post is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Actually, I have some admiration for the comics who put out the TikTok content because they're doing it consistently. It's like, wow, they have. I mean, I know the videos are short, but that's still a lot of ideas, that they're putting out there. And it's like, I think they're smart because like you're trying to build a following. Hey, if you want to get a young crowd, that's probably, where you should be. I was kind of forced into Instagram too. I don't care about social media when it comes down to it. I really don't.
It's a good platform to do videography.
But that's the thing, for videography, I had to be on there. I just had to be. So it's just unavoidable. So that's the only reason I got into it. And now in comedy, same thing. You have to be on. The only reason I have Facebook on my phone is because of stand up. Because all the mics, and the gigs, through that Facebook group. But if I was like a Joe Rogan's level, like a national headliner, I wouldn't be fucking with any of this shit at all. I'll just have someone do it for me. I'll just post my shows, and that's it. I'm naturally not interested in this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is why I don't feel bad when I see other people getting on stuff. Like, I'm like, they're putting more effort than me. I honestly don't care about it as much as a lot of these people that are going out like 12, 15 mics a week. I was like, that's insane. And they're doing TikTok and they're putting trying to make funny stuff on Instagram.
How many mics do you hit a week?
A lot would be like 7.
But
That
generally.
would be a lot. The last when I had my shows, it was down to like 3 or 4. This past week I only did 1. But yeah, if I do 1 and maybe 2, yeah, maybe 6 or 7 would be like
6 or 7 is a good amount. Actually, I would say like 5 is a good minimum
yeah.
to have. But like 12 to 16, these are people who are living in the city, I'm assuming. And just going from mic to mic, right? Because there's a lot of
these
mics
people
in
are
the city.
hitting up like both. If they live in Oakland, they would come and do the San Francisco and then go back and do the Oakland
Yeah.
mics.
Because I used to be like that. I used to go all over the place. You know, I was going all over the
Right.
place. I would go to Stockton. But like with the gas prices these days, I'm really looking at cutting that down, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Like just trying to like do 5, like the minimum. Just and really just kind of stay in the East Bay because it's just getting way too expensive.
People say get your reps in, but I feel like at a certain point it doesn't. Like if you're tired or you're not feeling it, I feel like every set should probably be intentional. You know what I mean? Because even like I do 5, like there are ones I just show up and I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, then what's the point if it's not intentional?
Yeah.
But that's really done on you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's you.
And there's no way I could be intentional about if I was doing like 20 mics a week. I would probably like not care about.
I don't know. I think
15 of them.
I think you could easily be intentional about then if I had that much access to it and I could easily that's not a problem. The intentional. It depends on how serious are you about it. If you're serious, it's easy to be intentional about it because you're there to get better.
Yeah.
The only shitty thing is for those who don't know, open mics are mostly comics.
It's all comic. Sometimes you get a good crowd at a bar.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. Right, and there's a bunch of non-comics there, and you have an actual audience. Those are the nights where you really want to record your set, because that might turn into a good clip, to submit to bookers. But for the most part, it's 99% comics, and if they're not busy working on their own material, they're too busy hanging out and talking amongst each other, right? And then, but who knows? By this time, they've heard your jokes like countless times already. So. It's kind of hard to gauge whether or not your stuff is actually, working. And it's kind of like torture on the soul performing, under those circumstances.
Yeah.
So, but when you're an open, what choice do you have though? When you're an open micer, right? You just kind of got to bite the bullet and still give it your all and, record your set and you can kind of just judge for yourself. You know what?
Yeah.
I really need to hit those punchlines a little bit harder. Or, you know what? There's too much empty space between this line and that line. I gotta tighten.
I need to
that
start
up.
recording my sets again.
Yeah.
I stopped because I'm like I wasn't watching them.
Yeah,
but then
it's hard to watch.
Sometimes I would have a good one, and I was just like, I should have recorded it, and I was like,
all right,
whatever.
Dorian, we are coming up. Actually, we're over an hour at this point.
All right.
So tell people how can they find out more about your show there at Emperor Norton's Boozeland.
Follow me on Instagram. It's actually not my name. It's Brobasaur03. I know it's rough, but I like to make things difficult for myself.
How do you spell that?
BROBASAUR.
He doesn't know how to spell it. Oh my god. This is like, what are the chances that people are gonna find it if you can't spell it yourself?
They probably know me already here. They'll find me through you. If they look at my name through your Instagram, they'll find me. I don't have a huge following
either, buddy. Don't get me wrong. I don't have so BROBASAUR03. Is that correct?
Brobasaur03.
Is that a Pokemon thing?
Yeah. For a while when I was younger, I was like, when you call your friends bro, like you're just like change regular words.
Yeah, I get that.
So one of them I started calling him. I was like, what's up, Brobasaur? Like Broseph, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I get it.
And yeah.
Were you a big Pokemon guy?
No.
Digimon, any of that?
No.
What kind of Asian are you? I wasn't either, to be perfectly honest. I hated it.
It was barely my time, Digimon, so it's probably
how old are you?
I'm 34. There's
7 years. Yeah, you were a little bit young. You're right. Yeah,
there was no way I can't imagine you being excited for even Pokemon. Pokemon was getting big when I was like maybe in middle school. But then like after Pokemon like Red and Blue, the video games, like once their first was like what 150 Pokemon or 250, I don't even know.
I don't know. I never got into it.
But then they're like, oh, there's all these new Pokemon. Even as a kid, I was like, nah, that's it.
Yeah.
But that just be my how I am. But I'm not really into Pokemon or anything.
Yeah, I was just morally opposed against Pokemon. Just didn't vibe with my principles.
Dude, you could have made so much money when Walmart and Target were banning Pokemons because people were robbing and fighting.
Oh yeah,
I saw this
didn't know
video.
about
Some guy was making like $80,000 a year. He was just buying Pokemon cards from Japan
that.
and selling it at a mall.
Yeah, I don't get the craze about that, but maybe that's just the old man in me because I couldn't vibe with it because the whole premise of the show is you got these humans getting to fight, but then they just trap these animals and let these animals fight for them. I was like, oh fuck that, I can't vibe with that. It's like animal cruelty. You know, they keep up this tiny ass ball. I'm not doing a bit. This is really how I feel about it.
Yeah, but also there are no Pokemons aren't animals, so they must be eating some of those.
Yeah. Like, that's why at least like from Digimon, from what I heard, at least they ask those like animals and monsters if they want to fight.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was way. My brother was really into it, but I'm not. Yeah, dude.
All right, so is Instagram, that's the only place to find. What days are your shows in Emperor Norton's Boozeland?
The next one, it will be July 1st, Friday.
Have you booked it already?
I have booked it already.
Who's on it?
So far we got me, Abe.
Thanks for asking me, buddy. Jeez.
We're just already booked, dude. You'll get on. Here's the thing. I'm not a what do you call it? Like a gatekeeper. Everybody will get on it. Especially if you know me, you're my friend, you'll get on it.
No,
as long as I
I'm
have a
just
show.
anyway, but who's on it? So
I think
Abe.
Me, Abe, Lee Wyatt, funny dude. I think Kathy Zhao is on it. And there's this girl, I don't know how long she's been there, but she's new to San Francisco. Brett Harper Jennings, really funny.
I have no idea who that is. Well, obviously I've been gone for 3 months.
But yeah, she's really funny. I don't know how long she's been doing it. So I think he's trying to get like a sketch group. We might have our magician come back.
So
but
how
I don't
does
know.
it work between the three of you? Do you each of you guys just book one person then?
So the first week it was just it was mostly me. I mean, I didn't book that many. I maybe booked like 3 people. I don't even remember who was on it anymore. 2 people maybe. Yeah, I had 3, but like one person dropped out and someone got replaced. And then after that, I want to be fair to them, so I was like, all right, you guys could pick some people. And they're people, they've been on shows, so they owe a favor. The good thing about me is no one's booked me on, so I don't owe anybody anything so far. So not a lot of people has asked me yet, but I know people are hitting them up.
You know, that's I don't know if you've listened to it, but Ari Shafir did this thing at the Comedy Store where for like 3.5 hours, he was just giving comics realistic advice, up and coming comics, realistic advice about the comedy career. And one of the things he said is, like, don't start your own show, don't start your own mic, because the only thing it does is you end up making enemies, because you can never book enough people for them to be happy. They're just gonna get salty at you.
Right.
What you want to do is just be making friends, because 7 years down the line, when things start taking off for everyone, those are the people who are going to be helping you out. Are you like getting a little bit of the saltiness from
Show
people
is
already?
canceled. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, like I said, no one books me on anything, so I don't know anybody anything there. So if people with shows come at me, and I'll just like, all right, I'll think about it. But like, I don't owe them anything.
It's not.
So they might be hitting up.
It's not even about owing people though. It's just about people who feel like, oh, I thought we're friends. How come you're not booking me? It's just that. It's not even.
We
about
are
them.
friends. Like people that have asked me, I said, yeah, you'll be on it. I don't know the next one, but you'll be on it. Like you'll be on it, Mike. I just.
You heard it here, folks.
If I quit on July 1st,
let's hold them accountable.
But
well, I just got to be before September before I take off again.
You're leaving forever.
Nah.
I'm sure I get you on by before then.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening.
All right, man.
There you go. Hey, guys. So thanks for tuning into the podcast. And a big thanks again to the fine folks at Sonity for letting us record the podcast here and for hooking us up with their delicious boba milk tea drinks. My wife, Chris, and I review boba milk tea spots all over the Bay Area. Believe me when I say that Sonity is definitely one of the best boba milk tea shops around. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at SAN as in Nancy, and as in Nancy again, A19, that's sana.na19 on Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to hit that follow/subscribe button and make sure to give us a 5-star rating to give us some algorithm love. Okay? Thanks for listening.